another episode of the Closing Time Chronicles. I'm your host, Allie Tabor, and I am with our founder, CEO, Chad Reynolds, former Eagle Scout, LSU grad, and one of the best bosses I've ever had.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, let me correct you. I'm not a former Eagle Scout. Once you're an Eagle Scout, you're always an Eagle Scout.
I have heard that before.
Yes, but I'm very proud of that. That was a lot of work. But yeah, I'm an LSU alumni, went to LSU undergrad, LSU law school. So I'm a huge LSU fan. So, I'm not loving the Texas colors you're wearing today, but that's okay. We're going to...
brown. It's not orange.
We're going to, it's close to burnt orange.
And you are in purple, so I guess we're clashing.
There you go. We, huge LSU fans.
We didn't talk attire before that.
We did not. So.
Okay. Tell us, what inspired you to get into title or real estate law, whatever you want to call it?
Well, when I first started practicing law, I did threshold law. And what threshold law is, whatever would cross my threshold that would pay me to do that work, I learned how to do it, and I did it.
Okay.
And it was great because I got exposed to so many different types of law, and I was able to kind of pick and choose what I liked, what I didn't like, and really settled in on kind of what we do now mostly, which is, succession law, wills and trusts, some corporate formation and corporate counsel stuff. And that really is where I kind of ended up until a buddy of mine called me one day and said, "Hey, I need some help. Would you be willing to come do some closings?" And this was early on in my career, and so I wasn't making a lot of money, and this could pay extra money to do it. So I said yes. Mm-hmm. The answer was absolutely, I will do it. And what I realized is that I loved it. Mm-hmm. I loved everything about it. The interaction with the clients, helping people, getting them to understand what they're doing and to appreciate the transaction, the magnitude of the transaction that they were doing was really good for me. I loved just getting people into houses, and that was great. So what started off as I was going to do a couple a month has turned into
just a favor.
Has turned into this,
I love that.
What is now Legacy Title.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great story. I remember when I was in college, my grandfather gave me advice whenever I thought that I wanted to do something, like I wanted to own a dress shop or I wanted to be a vet. He's like, intern, try it, do it, see if you like it before you get out of school, because then you'll hate it, which ended up being true with a lot of different things. But that's so great that you have that story that it was like, no, I tried it and it worked and it was great. It wasn't what I thought I was going to do.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. When you introduce yourself and you say that you're a title attorney, what is something that someone who's not in our industry, what surprises them about what you do?
Well, first of all, I typically, when people ask me if they're a lawyer, I'll say I'm a title lawyer. But a lot of times, if it's they're not lawyers, I would just describe myself as a real estate attorney, and they can understand that and know that that's the type of law that I do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just a nuance, But I describe as a real estate attorney.
What surprises people about what you do in a transaction?
I think the biggest thing that they would be surprised about is that I'm also a title insurance agent, that we use what we've learned to evaluate a title, to review a title, give an opinion on a title, and then we use that as the basis to then issue an insurance policy mm-hmm. to the lender and to the owner on behalf of a title insurance underwriter. And a lot of people don't know that is part of our job, is we have to underwrite the file and get it approved by the title insurance company in some instances to be able to issue that title insurance. Yeah.
Can you explain what is title insurance?
So title insurance is, it's a wonderful product. It is truly one of the things that protects the real estate transaction itself. In other words, it protects the owner, it protects the lender, and it provides them comfort that when they are buying something or lending money on something, that person will then own it. And there's mm-hmm. insurance to back that up. When we do a sale, the warranty of title from the seller is a warranty. It says they are the owner and we're selling it to this buyer, and that warranty of title is only as good as the net worth of that seller. You have to have something to back up that warranty. Mm-hmm. But if you have an owner's title insurance policy, then you have an actual insurance policy to back up that warranty of title to protect the buyer. And so the buyer gets more than just the warranty from the seller. They have mm-hmm. insurance that'll fix and make sure that they own it free and clear of liens, encumbrances,
Yeah.
judgments, things that could affect their ownership.
Yeah. And you and I have talked about this before, but I think, and you and I have said this, a myth about real estate is title insurance, of people who think they don't need it, or like, or what its purpose is, I guess.
Yeah. So the biggest myth that I get is, why do I need title insurance?
Right.
If you've reviewed the title, shouldn't it be good?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fact that it's things that we can't see.
Right.
Okay. In other words, it's things we can't see in the public record, like undisclosed errors, forgeries in the chain of title, misindexed documents, things that somebody can sue that owner and say, hey, you don't own it.
Yeah.
And if that were to happen, then the insurance company would step in. They would hire the attorney to defend the new owner in the suit. They would hire the attorney to do the curative work to fix it, to cure the title.
Yeah.
But then if they were to lose the property, they would be paid out.
Right.
And so that is a huge comfort, especially when you're buying a home.
Yeah.
That is the biggest investment, the biggest legacy, if you will, that you will purchase in your life.
I like that.
In your lifetime.
Yeah.
Is your biggest legacy is your home.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure that when you're spending all that money, that you have protection, and that owner's policy is for life. And so it truly provides, as I call it, it provides insurance.
Yep.
From a financial standpoint, but it also provides assurance.
Sure.
Assurance that if you buy this house and you raise kids there, that you will not lose that house.
Yes.
That all your memories won't go with it. And so it's insurance and assurance.
Yeah. I like the way you said it. I've always said, so when someone asks me, why do you think title insurance is important? I personally will always default back to, well, when my family house flooded, I was sure happy I had insurance to save me. We didn't see the floodwaters coming in. So luckily, we had contents and house, but I'm like, this is your insurance of the things that you don't see coming.
That's right.
But I like assurance. I'm like, I like how you said that. Assurance, insurance. I'm going to remember that.
Okay, good.
Tell me, how has technology changed and evolved?
Technology's changed a lot. So
I mean, technology as a whole, but like how impacting title. We use Qualia. So
from when I first started, we had paper files, we had paper abstracts. Now we have Qualia, which is a settlement system that also contains all our files. And so we have 4 offices. Hopefully we'll have 5 in the near future. And so it allows us to be integrated.
Yeah.
And so any person, we have an office in Lafayette, they can look at a file in Baton Rouge and cut checks over there if they're signing over there. So it just allows for the integration of the offices.
Yeah.
And allows for us to be able to securely communicate, store, and protect and safeguard consumers' private information. It has all those safeguards. And so that has been tremendous. We also have what's called Qualia Connect, which provides that secure portal for exchange of documents with the consumer.
Yep.
And secure communication. If they need wiring instructions, we deliver it securely so it doesn't get hacked out of an email and changed and things like that. So the technology has been tremendous.
Yeah.
And our ability to provide a better and faster, more efficient and safe service to our customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Fraud is something that you grow up and you're like, oh my God, there's so much more. Like, I understand why they were yelling at me about these things now.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. But it's nice to know that, they have that peace of mind that those systems are there to be built to keep things in a safe, neat, tight little box, as I like to picture it. Tell us about an early challenge you faced.
Early challenges. Well, I can tell you the biggest challenge when you start your own company is, where am I going to get business, and how do I get business? And that was a challenge, because when I first started, I would meet somebody and they would say, Legacy Title? I've never heard of you.
Yeah.
Don't know who you are. Chad Reynolds, attorney at law. Don't know who you are. And so that was a challenge when there were so many good title companies in town and good title attorney, good real estate attorneys. And so, earning respect, earning business, and getting them to know who we were was a big challenge. And it paid off, though. We're here.
22 years later.
22 years later, I think hopefully everybody knows who we are, and at least have heard and knows our reputation. That we really try to do good work for our customers and for the people that refer us business.
Yeah. Well, and I think based on who I talk to, everybody loves us, or at least I hope they do, know.
Well, we have to work at it every day. And
absolutely.
We try to do that with our team, is how can we be better each and every day from an attorney standpoint. You know, we have
Yeah.
eight attorneys now.
8
And
attorneys.
so all those attorneys are trying every day, how can I better our practices, better our procedures, and put a system in place to really help
And
the
to me,
consumer.
it's all about earning that too. Like there's steps that everybody has to take, no matter when that file comes in, whether you've done a deal with us 6 months ago, 6 years ago, you know, we're always happy to continue to build that legacy or create that legacy with them.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us, what is your most rewarding moment or rewarding legacy, if you will?
Oh, wow. There's so many. I can tell you about, I guess, gosh, it was about a year or two ago,
Okay.
which was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. Is
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a closing for this couple, and they were in their late 60s. And I remember this to this day because I was tearing up. But they were telling me, you know, we're doing the closing, and it somehow we got to us. Said, "Is this your, you know, your third house or whatever?" And they were like, "No, this is my first house ever." And that was just everything, to be a part of that and to help them and to be a part of that journey. This is what they dreamed about their entire life, was to have that legacy, and they made it happen. And we were, I mean,
Oh my
the whole room was
God.
in tears, you know.
Oh God.
But it was so rewarding, and you know, there were so many hugs afterwards, and I'll never forget them. And hopefully, I did a good job for them, and they a great, you know, big part of that process.
I love
But that was
that.
great. That is probably one of the most rewarding experiences.
That was one thing, but when I transferred into title, I wasn't aware of how many moments like that we'd get to have. And so it is one of the best things about this job. It's just, you know, why we do it. You know, their why.
It's our mission.
Yeah.
And to see someone that this couple had dreamed about it their entire lives, and they had just worked and worked and worked to make that happen, and they did it.
Yeah.
And it was just,
I love that.
It was great.
Oh, I love that. Okay, tell us, what is your relationship with a realtor who maybe uses legacy frequently?
So I've been doing it 22 years. So
Yeah.
there's so many realtors that I've been working with my entire career. And you know, what I love about them is that they appreciate the work we do, and they know we work hard for them. And you know, I was with somebody, a realtor, and I overheard the explanation of, "Hey, let me tell you why I only use Chad in Legacy." And this is what he did. He went above and beyond. He stayed late this day and got me this closing done, and it meant a lot to my family to get that deal done. And he said, you know, and this is how he related. He's like, I told him, I got you.
Yeah.
We're going to make this happen for you. And it left an indelible mark on that agent, and we have been friends and colleagues ever since, and you know, still do business. And so I love that. I mean, I love the relationship, and like I said, we have so many amazing clients that refer to us, and they all have different stories as to why they use us, but they all go back to, we're looking out for them.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And that was how I got to Legacy as well. So Tori from our Lafayette office had recruited me when I was an agent, but it was one file in particular that I had sent, and it was a succession, and they thought that they had everything done, but it turns out they didn't. And so when I brought the listing to Adrienne, she's like, I got to call Chad, I got to call Michael, and I'm talking to 3 different attorneys to get a job done while I'm in Lafayette, who are an hour and a half away. Adrienne called me one day. She had forgotten to call me back, and she calls me at like 5:30. She's like, hey, I'm so sorry I forgot to call you back, but I wanted to give you this update. And I hear her, I'm like, are you busy? Do you want me to let you go? She's like, no, I'm just bathing my kid. It's fine. I'm like, Adrienne, talk to your family. But it was because she cared to go that extra mile, and the entire team did. Before it was even, you know, a part of the team, I still had them as my team. And so I can't say enough great things. But anyways, what is your dream real estate deal?
Ooh, my dream real estate deal.
If you could pick any, maybe, I don't know, a property that you want to close, or maybe a person you want to close with, maybe a celebrity, I don't know.
You stumped me. I don't know that I have a dream deal, because I love closing a small house, and I love closing a large commercial.
No, that's a really good deal. I mean, that's a really great answer. Yeah.
Because it's the same transaction. I mean, it's the different type of work, but it's still to the person buying their first home, and it's still from a percentage of their income, the largest investment they're making. Well,
Yeah.
on the commercial side, same thing. It's
Yeah.
the largest one they'll probably
Yep.
make, and then until they buy the next one. But no, I like being a part of it. And
Mm-hmm.
what's great about our team and the way that we handle those is we don't treat those any differently.
Yeah.
And so it you know, because we know the importance of each deal to each person, and we want them to be happy.
Yeah. Oh, I love that answer. Dang it. I thought you were going to say something like really cool, like, I don't know, a celebrity. I don't know. But don't get me wrong, that was a cooler answer. If you could pick a real estate superpower, or what do you think you have that you would call a superpower? It can be a two-part question. I know I'm stumping you at the end. I'm sorry. These are supposed to be fun.
Yeah. I believe that over the years, I've developed a way to, even during contentious closings, to try to mediate it and to try to calm the tension and you know, and ease. And I think that, but it also goes with somebody buying their first house. They're very nervous.
Yeah.
I have a way to disarm their nervousness.
Yep.
And to make them feel comfortable about what they're doing. So in both transactions, they're just nervous because it's the first one they've ever done. It's
yeah,
the
they don't understand
money they've ever spent.
Yeah.
You know? Or the other side where the parties just aren't getting along,
Mm-hmm.
and to try to disarm that. I think that's something. I would say that's
a good one.
Superpower. Yeah,
that's a good one. Oh, I really like that. Oh, I might have to steal that. That's true though, because I've seen it in action. I don't think we talk about it enough that there are sometimes tenser moments in a real estate transaction. We're very blessed that we do get to see a lot of really happy moments, but sometimes they're not the.
And honestly, I've gotten a lot of referral sources from that they will pull me aside afterwards and they will say, "Wow, this transaction would not have closed if you hadn't been there to intervene and to help smooth it out and calm it down." And we got a lot of clients out of it, and so that's wonderful, and we appreciate it.
Oh, I love that. Okay, last thoughts for the guests. Anything that if they take one thing away from this conversation, what would it be? Whether it's about you or legacy.
I will say this. I think the fact, I'll speak for me and on behalf of the company, that the thing that I'm most proud of is I've been in business 22, about to be 23 years. And I think this team that I have right now, from the people that greet you at the front desk to the 8 attorneys we have, is the best team I've ever had. And we are all like-minded. We love what we do. We love our customers. We love real estate. We love helping people. And this is probably the best team I've ever had. You know, and we seem to attract people like you, people that love it too. And we want more people. And we have grown as a result. Like, we are organically grown because we attract like-minded people that just want to fulfill the mission of getting people in homes.
Yeah, no, I love that. And thank you for saying that about me as well. I appreciate that. But that was one thing, and I hope that I wanted to stand out when I had done it. But when I was interviewing for this position, it was, why do I want to work with Legacy? And it was because I had worked so well with Legacy for so long that I understood the culture and the mission with everybody that walked through the door, whether it was an agent, a lender, a buyer, seller, investor, whomever's walking through the door, they're all leaving that door feeling the same way. You just, you know.
And it's the teamwork. So
yes.
No matter which office you go to, they're working together.
Yes.
And it's the common goal of getting the deal done and getting people in the house.
Everybody's on the same page. Like, what can we do to work together? How can I help you? What do you need? Let's get the deal done. Let's communicate. Let's talk. And
I don't use the term team lightly. I mean, it is truly teamwork.
A well-oiled machine.
Yeah,
yes.
I like to think so.
Yes. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Of course, you can find us both at Legacy Title, and we hope to see you at a closing table soon.
See you soon.